Morning peeps, good morning everyone. How's everyone doing? Hopefully you guys are all doing well. Don't forget, if you're new to the channel, like, share, subscribe. Massive shout out to a very good friend of mine, a guy called Henry, who just cracked 10,000 subs on YouTube. Congratulations, dude. Honestly, big achievement. He puts out so much great content. He's like the best kept secret in boxing YouTube world, if you like. Not many people know who he is, but those that do know will testify to how good his channel is. I genuinely mean what I'm going to say next. I think he has the best boxing YouTube channel, honestly. His breakdowns are fantastic. There's no bias towards his breakdowns either. I think a few boxers watch his channel as well, and they actually watch his breakdowns prior to them having fights. That's how good his stuff is. So look, go and give it a follow. I'm going to put his channel up on the screen right now, so you can't say you don't know who I'm talking about. But yeah, I've known him a few years. And good kid, honestly. I love the stuff he's doing. I reached out to him a few weeks ago saying, look, we need to do something, but I can't think of what. But we will do something in the next few months. But yeah, look, give his channel a follow. It really is some good content. All right, let's have a look and see what there is to talk about today. I am off to Scotland on Thursday. First time going to the Hydro Arena. Never been there before. I feel like I've been to all the boxing or the big boxing venues, if you like, around the UK, but never this one. So looking forward to seeing what the atmosphere is like. We've had it good recently. I mentioned on a video I did yesterday that obviously coming off the Copper Box, which was, again, fantastic atmosphere. Motor Point before that, great. Obviously Ben Eubank before that, Ben Whittaker, Cameron, I think a sold out arena, great atmosphere. And I forgot one, Paddy Donovan, Lewis Crocker. How good was that as well in terms of atmosphere? I'm expecting it to be very noisy and very rowdy at the Hydro Arena, just because there aren't that many big boxing events in Scotland at the moment. There aren't. I mean, it was all about Josh Taylor, wasn't it, really? Before that, Ricky Burns. We've not really had that many sort of Scottish fighters coming through in recent years to kind of build something up over there. But hopefully this is, I mean, we've had a few, but in terms of big name sellout guys, not really, right? I don't know what to expect from this fight. I was going to say it's all down to what's left with Josh, but that's probably a bit disrespectful to ESSUMAN. You know what it is? We know Josh has been at world level, the very highest of world level, like undisputed at 140. And it wasn't just an easy run picking up belts that were vacant. I mean, he fought guys that are unbeaten, very good guys. So he earned that undisputed tag. There was even a time, very quickly, I don't know if you guys remember this. This is how high Josh was at one stage. There was a time after the Ramirez fight, when Josh became undisputed, there was a time when everyone was like, Josh versus Terence Crawford. Terence couldn't get a fight. Couldn't get the fights he wanted. So Sean Porter, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. He couldn't fight the guys on the other side of the street. And both of these guys at the time were top rank. So it kind of made sense. The undisputed champ from 140 coming up, fighting the former undisputed champ at 140. So it was a real thing. That's how high Josh was. Obviously, Josh isn't there anymore. I think Josh has lost his last three. The record books will say two, but I think we all can agree that Jack Catchell was unlucky not to get the victory when they first fought. So it's Jack, Teofimo Lopez defeat, and Jack. But look, let's go with what the record book says. Lost his last two. He desperately needs a win. Like, desperately needs a win. If he doesn't win on Saturday, I think that could be that. It's true, right? I think this is the last roll of the dice. You're fighting someone that's considered a British level welterweight. And that's kind of what EKOW is. Yeah, I think EKOW could go further, but that's where he is, right? We don't know if EKOW is European level or world level, but we know he's most certainly British level. So he's fighting a British level welterweight in his home patch. It's kind of must win. It's not just must win, it's must win and must look very good. That's what I think. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Josh is like. I think Josh should have made this 147 jump years ago. Honestly, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. As soon as he became undisputed, do it then. I don't know why he's like hanging around. I don't quite get it. He's always been tight at the weight. He's going to be tight at 147. That's how big he is. But look, let's see what he can do. 147 is exciting. there are some good fights out there for him. Obviously, Jack Catterall is now at least for one fight at 147. There's some big names in America. Josh is known over there. But let's see what he can do on home soil against ESSUMAN, who's been waiting for this type of opportunity. Like EKOW has done the British scene for so long. Only one defeat. That was the Harry Scarf. Only one defeat. So he deserves an opportunity now. So he's got it. He's got a big name, albeit away from home. It's going to be loud and he's going to be against it. But, you know, as fighters say, once they get in the ring, it's just them versus their opponent. So, yeah, I can't wait to see how Josh looks. I mean, you know, as much as I say Josh has lost his last 3, in his last 2, he's actually looked pretty decent, you know. Like, I thought the Jack Catterall performance this time round was way better than when he won against Jack. And Teofimo Lopez wasn't a shutout. I think a couple of scores were, 114, 112, or 115, 112. So it wasn't a one-sided beatdown. And that was Teo hot. You know, Teo can blow cold and hot. That was Teo hot that night. So I think there's still something left. He's only 32. I don't know him personally, so I can't say if he lives the life or doesn't live the life, but he's still relatively young. And, I mean, as you get older in boxing, you're supposed to move up in weight. He's finally done that. So let's see what happens. Moses Atama is on the card as well. So it should be a good one. I think Nathaniel Collins is on the card versus Lee McGregor. Have I got that right? Let's have a look very quickly at the card. 1 second, peeps. Yeah, Nathaniel Collins versus Lee McGregor, WBC silver featherweight title fight. Moses Atama versus Mike Balogun. Mike Balogun's lost once, and that was to Murat Gassiev. I can't wait to speak to Moses, by the way, because obviously there's this talk not going away about Moses versus Martin Bakole. Be interesting to see what Moses says about that. But yeah, looking forward to going up. I'll fly up there on Thursday evening. Going to be doing the weigh-ins and obviously a fight night with the great Carl Frampton, who is fantastic. All right, we've all had, 36 hours or so now to kind of breathe from what happened at the Copper Box. Johnny Fischer getting stopped in that fight. Dave Allen looking really good. That finish, honestly, I've watched it back a few times. That finish was so clean. Body, head. The way in which he set it up, the way in which he walked over. And it was, honestly, such a good finish. It makes me question Dave Allen a bit. Like, where has that guy been? Like, maybe some might say, well, no, it's because of this level, but I disagree. I think it's just been about hunger and desire from him. I'm not trying to say this guy is world level. I'm not saying all that, but there's a guy in there. There's a boxer in there. I can see it. If he can get in condition, lose a bit of weight, lose a bit of that sort of, you know, that tire around the belly, I think he's a bit of a problem because he seems to be able to take a dig and he does seem to have good power that not many people speak about. But anyway, this is about Johnny Fischer. I feel like, no, I get it. Before anyone says, Ade, calm down, I get it, right? But I do feel like he's got way too much stick for that defeat. Way too much. And the reason I'm even saying this is because I've spoken and been around Johnny Fischer for a few years. He's a great guy. Honestly, he's just a great dude. So I feel like the stick that he's getting just isn't warranted. Look, there are some fighters. Ben Whittaker's a great example, right? Who, you know, I like Ben. You guys know I have a good relationship with Ben, but he's a fighter whereby if he does lose, Ben, you're going to get some stick, brother, because of the way in which he is, right? Johnny ain't that. Johnny's never claimed to be any good. Like, Johnny's never said, I'm going to be world champion. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. He has never said that. So the stick he's getting for suffering a defeat, I feel like, come on, man, it's just not warranted. Honestly, it's just not warranted. It's heavyweight boxing. Anything can fucking happen. With a guy with small gloves that is 260, 270 pounds, cracks you on the chin, good luck. Anything can happen. I still think there is a good athlete that still needs some tutelage, if you like, still needs to get his fundamentals correct. But he's 26. I think there's something there. I don't think there's something there to go to world level. I'm not stupid. But there's something there to have fun British fights. I feel like people have completely written him off. Oh, look at him. He's done. Put a fork in him. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. There are some good fights out there for him if he can just come back and regroup. Obviously, that was a damaging fight, like physically. The last one was damaging physically. So maybe take a bit of a break Maybe get back on a card towards the end of the year. Undercard as well. There seems to be a bit of pressure that he doesn't seem to be able to handle yet when he's the main event, which is okay. That's fine. I mean, you learn these things, right? So yeah, get him on a couple of undercard fights. There's so many heavyweights out there that he could bowl over, and then work on a few different things. There's the argument about work on your weaknesses. If your strengths are there, I would focus on his strengths. I would focus on his strengths. There almost needs to be an honest conversation as to where he is and what his level is, and don't take away his strengths. And his strengths, he's nicknamed the Romford Bull for a reason, because he bulldozes you. Like you're in front of him and he wants to knock you out. He wants to hurt you. He wants to run over you. Fighting on the back foot just ain't it. So I think him and his team need to look at that. But yeah, let's just all chill out a little bit. I've watched a few videos and people have gone in. I'm like, why is there this much hatred? Is it the Bosch thing? Is it his dad? Pull that to the side and just listen to Johnny Fischer when he does his interviews. Again, one of the nicest guys in the sport. I'm telling you guys, and if someone's a bit of a cunt, I will say it because I'm around them a lot. He ain't that. So let's kind of just all chill out a little bit. He got knocked out. It's a fight he probably shouldn't have taken, but he decided to run back to it, which we need to give him credit for. So let's all relax just a little bit. But again, I get it, right? I understand why fight fans do these things, but I think it's a bit unfair. All right, Eddie Hearn. If Jack Catterall loses to Harlem Eubank, he is done. Bloody hell, man. Okay. Let's not put pressure on him. He won't lose, I don't think. That's the answer to that statement. I don't think he will lose. I think Jack's a level above, maybe 1 or 2 levels above. I remember this was a Harlem Eubank that was going to fight Adam Azim, and that was going to be a British level / early European level fight. Jack Catterall is 100% world level. I said this the other day. Jack just needs to start fast. Jack, I think, starts too slow in his fights. I think he's too relaxed. I think he needs to put it on someone. He's got the punch power to hurt you. And sometimes I think maybe he overthinks things a little bit. If he can just let loose, Jack's a problem. Honestly, I know this fight's at 147, but I still think he has all the capabilities of winning the world title at 140. Obviously, he just missed his opportunity. It could have been him versus Teofimo Lopez, so it's a shame. And what doesn't help is that he got beat by Arnold Barboza, and then Arnold Barboza got schooled by Teofimo Lopez, and it's like, oh God, look at the levels. So it doesn't help. All right, final bit here. Should Vasily Lomachenko fight again? I only want to see Loma in world title fights, and I don't know if he can beat the current world champions. And I hate saying that because there was a couple of years ago and I think he would have washed them all. But can he beat Gervonta? At this stage of Loma's career, I'm not quite sure. Can he beat Keyshawn? Probably not. Can he beat Shakur? Probably not. There are still good fights out there, but at this stage, surely all he wants is big world title fights, and I don't know if he can beat those 3 world champions. I would still love to see him versus Gervonta Davis, but maybe that time has passed. All right, guys, girls, we are done. Very quick video today. We will see you in a couple more days when I do more videos.